Hello, my name is Tony from Woodrave. I'm going to show you how to take your MFT template and how to modify it to fit other router bases. Currently it only fits the OF 1400 from Festool and the common Porter cable plunge base. So we're going to modify this one in order to fit for this Bosch plunge that I've got sitting right here. What you're going to need besides your base plate is you're going to need the base plate that comes off of the router that you're going to be matching it up to. You're going to need a drill bit essentially to drill the holes, and what you want to do is find a drill bit that will just fit those holes that you're going to be drilling. So this one's a nice tight fit. You're going to probably want a couple clamps to help keep everything stable. Maybe a pencil to mark off your holes just in case if you shift before you get it all put in place. And then some blocks in order to get this up, because we have the pins in here. So you're going to want to be able to get this up off the deck so you're not drilling into your deck. Okay? And of course a drill in order to drill your holes. So we're going to go ahead at this point and kind of go through the steps of setting this all up. Okay, for the setup, you're going to want to have your template guide, and you're going to want to have your base plate from the router you're going to be connecting to this. So essentially I've gone through and I've figured out which holes are the threaded holes that I need to use to mount to this router base. And I've marked them with blue tape so that way I can find them. Next, what you're going to want to do is set your plate over your template, and you want to line up your circle here as close as you can to be centered there. That's going to be important. Now you can just pretty much eyeball this and you can get it fairly close, and once you get it to where you want it, you want to make sure you're not running into any holes underneath or running into any of the pegs. You want to make sure you're clear of any other ones, and in this case I am. Now, one thing you can do to ensure that you're in the place you want, you can go ahead and take a pencil and mark your holes, so if anything shifts you can go back and get everything aligned. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp this so that none of this moves while I'm drilling. I want to make sure that everything stays in its place. Next, I'm going to take my drill, and I've got a bit that just fits that template. And here I'm just going to get my bit into my drill and essentially drill straight through. Now you want to make sure you're as vertical as you can be and drill through your template. Should be good there. I'm going to go over here to this hole. There's two. And I'm going to shift my blocks around here to give support for where I'm going for this one. It's a little awkward. And I'm through there. So essentially, I have my 3 new holes drilled. Here, here, and here for my mounting plate. Now, a recommendation is if you get a countersink bit with an 82-degree angle on it, what you'll want to do is go back on the other side, the side with where you can already see our countersunk, and use a countersink to countersink your holes. This will, one, clean up the edges and also allow you to countersink your screws into the template so it's not interfering with your movement across your pegboard. And then this will mount to the bottom of your plate now. And if you marked off, I made a little line on where this side of the plate was. That way I know that my orientation of my router is essentially going this way, and then I can line up my screw holes. Okay? Now, one quick note, when you're drilling this, make sure that when you set your plate on here, you're setting the plate so that the bottom side of the plate that mounts to the router is up, like you were putting it down this way. Because if you flip it like this and have the bottom up, it's going to reverse your holes. And you don't want that. That's not going to work for you. So you need to make sure that this part of the plate that touches the bottom of your router is facing up. So essentially, that's how you'll make your own mounting holes for your plate, and you can make little marks on there to remind you of which holes you want to use.